You can hear this hour. Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba will finally meet Alexandra residents today. It follows service delivery protests in that township over the past 2 weeks or so. Now, on Friday, Mashaba told councillors that he needed help from national and provincial government to address the demands there. eNCA Silindelo Masikane is in Alexandra and joins me now live for an update. Silindelo, we're expecting the mayor to arrive there. When do we expect Herman Mashaba to touch down in Alexandra?
Yes, Temegile, we are here at the Marlborough Community Centre, which is on the fringes of Alexandra, and we do expect the mayor to make his way here around 5:30. He is scheduled to speak to residents around the integrated development plan at 6 p.m. tonight.
So when he comes there, Herman Mashaba, today, he's no doubt going to deal with a lot of anger from some of the people who live in Alexandra. What are they saying ahead of his expected arrival?
Now, we're yet to speak to some of the residents that will be making their way. We understand that they will be bussed in from the township. But I'm going to move out of shot just to ask Tando, my colleague, to paint you a picture really of where we are. Now, we've got quite a heavy police contingency here. We've got JMPD, we've got the flying squad here, we've got police on site, and in fact, we've got a few Inyalas that have been making their rounds. So it seems though that the Joburg mayor is actually expecting quite a very dramatic, or should I say he's expecting the community not to really receive him quite well, and so he's deployed quite a few members of law enforcement here in order to basically monitor the situation. What you're seeing outside here is quite similar to the situation inside the hall. There's quite a heavy police contingent, and it seems as though the mayor is not expecting to be received quite well today.
And as we wait, let's remind ourselves of what it is that the people of Alexandra are demanding that the mayor and the broader leadership structure in the city do.
Right, so of course 2 weeks ago we saw the Alex Total shutdown taking place, and we saw a number of residents basically blockading entrances in and out of the township, bringing the entire township into a complete halt, and they were basically complaining around the issues of service delivery that we're seeing other communities protesting about. But in particular, the Alexandra township community was complaining around the issue of these so-called illegal infrastructures that are mushrooming all over the township, where there are people just building anywhere and everywhere, inside schools, on barren land, land which is actually not even owned by government. And so they were saying that the city of Johannesburg is failing not only in enforcing bylaws, in removing these people, but also in basic services such as waste removal, such as the housing crisis, as well as a number of issues that involve service delivery. And so we saw President Cyril Ramaphosa making his way last week on his campaign trail as ANC president, coming to address the Alexandra residents, promising them 1 million homes over the next 5 years, which of course Mayor Herman Mashaba says is impossible to actually achieve. And so when the mayor addresses the residents today, we expect to hear from him on what his administration has been doing in order to fix the situation in Alex, which he says really predates his administration. A lot of the issues that are plaguing the Alexandra township are historical issues, and he says that his administration has really been trying to work hard in order to rectify what's really been not done under ANC-led administrations here by the ANC during its term over the past 2 decades, in fact. And so it's not exactly quite clear whether residents will hear him out, whether they're going to disrupt this meeting, but we're definitely here to find all of that out in Bigile.
Sli, let's get a sense of another thing as far as the residents are concerned. You've spent a number of days in Alexandra since the beginning of what we were told was a total shutdown almost 2 weeks ago. A political football going on now between the ANC, which was in charge of Joburg before 2016, the DA with Herman Mashaba now taking control of the city in the 2016 election through a coalition. What do the people of Alexandra make of the back and forth, the blame game, if you will, between the ANC and the DA on who is responsible for the mess there?
I think for residents, what's most important is that they just want service delivery. They just want what's really what government's been promising them over years and years and years. They don't really care who's in charge, but they just want answers as to what is going to happen to Alexandra. I mean, it's been, we're in 25 years into democracy, and if you're coming to Alex, you'd swear that nobody's actually running this particular township. It seems that there's no particular kind of service delivery that these people are receiving. What they want from their government officials is for them not only to make promises but to deliver on those particular promises. And there's been lots of being said between the DA as well as the ANC on who's responsible, but at the end of the day it's always the residents that continue to suffer. And as we count down to that ballot box on the 8th of May, it seems that political parties are really coming out with this particular blame game. Nobody really wants to take responsibility on the situation that Alexandra finds itself in. Everybody just seemingly wants to say, no, the ANC was in power for 2 decades or so, and so they should take most of the blame. The DA, that coming from the DA, whereas the ANC is saying that you guys are now in charge, and so you can't really blame historical issues on that. So I think it's to be expected where we do see this increase in service delivery process as we head into elections. But I think what's most important for residents is what's going to come out following the 8th of May on what's going to happen to the issues that they've raised around housing, around waste removal, around a lot of these issues that are centered around service delivery.
And just on that point then, let me ask you, Slee, if from your assessment over the past few days, if Mayor Mashaba does not present an immediate solution to the problems there, is there a sense that the ground in Alexandra is fertile for more protests?
Certainly, that is the feeling. I think whatever the mayor has to say this evening to the residents is going to really determine whether we will see the Alexandra Township once again shut down, whether we're going to see another flare-up of protests. I think it's very key as to what he is going to be promising the Alexandra residents and what his integrated development plan has for this particular township. That is definitely going to determine whether we will see another flare-up of protests in this area.
Steve, there for now, eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane awaiting the arrival of the Joburg Mayor Herman Mashaba, who's finally going to address Alexandra residents after almost 2 weeks of calls for him to go there and address them on the various service delivery issues that keep them up at night. We'll take you live to Alexandra as soon as he begins his address.